Hi everyone, welcome to my review of Card Mafia's Spiderman No Way Home deck. Before we start, if you watch this and decide you want to pick one of these up, I'll leave a link in the description that will take you straight to this deck, but I'll leave a second link that will take you to Card Mafia's website where you can check out some of their other releases.
This deck is based on the Iron Spider suit that Tony Stark makes for Peter Parker. If I'm right, I think it's the suit that Spider-Man first wears in Avengers Infinity War. As you can see from the first few clips, this isn't your average deck. The unique opening system reveals this LED lit spider symbol. Again, drawing from the Iron Spider suit, if you pull the edges of the deck further, the symbol changes colour, which is a nod to the suit's instant kill mode. The LED lit spider symbol is battery operated, and the batteries come included when you buy the deck. You're also given a small card that will direct you to some instructions on how you can install the batteries or replace them as and when you need to. The tuck box is definitely this deck's selling point. There's so much attention to detail. It's embossed to mimic the suit texture, and because it uses foils, the red and the gold on the box really stand out. It's also officially licensed by Disney and has the anti-counterfeit hologram label on the bottom. Moving on to the cards themselves, as you can see from the edges, this is the gilded version of the deck. Unfortunately, this does mean that the cards clump together slightly. That being said, I do think this edition is more of a collector's item. For that reason, I don't think I'd really use them for Magic and cardistry. Anyway, moving on to the design itself. I'm a really big fan of the two-way back design. The colours on the cards are slightly brighter than on the tuck box, but it still works. The faces of the cards are all fully custom. I like the idea of having the characters on the court cards, but I do tend to prefer a more standard two-way design. Aside from that, I think the designs of the aces are really nice, and I like the custom pips, though I do find it slightly difficult to tell the clubs and the spades apart at a glance, but that's not really a deal breaker for me.
If you're watching this to help you decide whether or not to pick up a deck for yourself, I think you have to weigh up the pros and cons. So to start off the cons, I do have to say the cards clumping together slightly. It's not the worst I've ever seen, and it could be because it is the gilded version of the deck, but if that's something that is going to bug you, it's worth bearing in mind. Another con, if I'm being really picky, I do like the illustrations on the court cards, but I don't think it was necessary for them to say Spider-Man on every single one. It kind of just adds to the one-way design. You could say it's useful to have the characters' names at the bottom, because I certainly didn't know who each one was, but the text just kind of adds to the one-way design for me. Same with the aces. It says Spider-Man on the bottom of each card, which I don't, again, think was necessary. The pips I like the design of, but on the normal cards I think it's slightly difficult to tell the difference between them, which would be another con. But again, that's if I'm being really picky. It's a really minor issue, and if you're buying it to collect, it shouldn't matter too much. On the flip side, one of the things that I do really like about this deck is the back design. It's two-way. I think the colours are really nice, and there's so much attention to detail. So the tuck box is embossed to give you that texture feel of the suit, whereas the cards also try to give that feel. It's not embossed, but there's little lines to try and show the texture of it, which I think is really cool. Although the gilded edges might make the cards clump together slightly, I think it does look really pretty in the right light. But the main one, of course, has to be the tuck box. As a collector myself, I've never seen anything like this before. So even though I did find some things that I didn't like about the cards, I think it would be worth it for this alone. At $45, this deck is on the pricey side. Because it's so well made, I do think that it's worth it, but I understand that could be slightly out of budget. But there is a chance that you could win one of these decks for absolutely free. So Card Mafia very kindly agreed to sponsor a giveaway, which I'll be hosting over on my Instagram. I'll leave a link in the description for that as well. It will take you over to my Instagram. I'll be posting it over the next couple of days, and there'll be instructions on how to enter there.
Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of the deck in the comments.